Why hide ether from Mendeleev's periodic table? This is something that the ancient Greeks were talking about. There is no empty space and vacuum in space. Everything is filled with ether. In other words, everything is an electric universe and tied in with each other, connected. There are few who know that D.I. Mendeleev was one of the last world-famous Russian scientists of the late 19th century. We all know him from chemistry, the periodic table of elements, who defended the idea of ether as a global substantial entity in world science, who gave it fundamental scientific and applied significance in revealing the secrets of creation and to improve the people's economic life. The table of chemical elements, officially taught at schools and universities, is a Mendeleev forged version. Mendeleev, in work called An Attempt to a Chemical Conception of Universal Ether, provided a slightly different table, as shown by the Polytechnic Museum of Moscow. The last time in an undistorted form the real Mendeleev table was published in 1906 in St. Petersburg in the textbook Fundamentals of Chemistry, 8th edition. The differences are visible. The zero group is moved to the 8th, and the element is lighter than hydrogen, with which the table should begin and which is conventionally called Newtonium ether, is generally excluded. Isn't that something? Mendeleev was the organizer and the permanent leader, 1869 to 1905, of the Russian Public Scientific Association called the Russian Chemical Society. Since 1872, the Russian Physical and Chemical Society was the name, which published throughout its existence the world-famous Journal of the RFLF, until the liquidation of the Academy of Science of Russia, USSR in 1930, of both the society and its journal. But few know that Mendeleev was one of the last world-famous Russian scientists of the late 19th century who defended the idea of ether as a global substantial entity in world science, who gave it fundamental scientific and applied importance in revealing the secrets of being and from improving the people's economic life. Even fewer are those who know that after the sudden death of Mendeleev, January 27, 1907, he was then reorganized as an outstanding scientist by all scientific communities around the world, except the St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences. His main discovery, the periodic table, was deliberately and universally falsified by the world economic science. There is also very few who know that all of the above is tied together with the thread of sacrificial service of the best representatives and bearers of the immortal Russian physical thought, they said, for the benefit of people, public good, in spite of the growth waving of irresponsibility in the upper layers of society of Russia at that time. The great alchemist Mendeleev revealed in his table the secret of the creation of the physical world from ether. At first it was ether. It was from ether that the substance of the material world appears, which is divided into 4 elements: fire, earth, water, and air. And again, through radioactive substances at the end of the table, they turn back into ether, and all this can be traced in Mendeleev's table. Quote, "The gravity problem and the tasks of the entire energy sector cannot be imagined to be really solved without a real understanding of the ether as a global medium that transfers energy over distances. A real understanding of the ether cannot be achieved by ignoring its chemistry and not considering it an elemental substance." End quote. Modern material science has limited itself to the framework of the matter and therefore is not capable of explaining what goes beyond this framework. The end of the 19th century was the dawn of a different science, but the puppeteers led mankind to a materialistic impasse, and the discoveries of Mendeleev and Nicholas Tesla and other ascetics were nothing to them. And this is from Solask. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.